Hi guys, trying to get everything set up here. Got on my H Moser shirt, sweater, jumper. Hang on a second. Look out! Watch out for the glare. Ah, there we are. Okie doke. All right, I'm going to make some announcements and stuff, so I'll be right back. Hey, how's it going? Mr. Random, good to see you. I'll be right back. I'm going out for a few announcements. What do you want to talk about, Mr. Random? You come up with a topic while I'm out letting everybody know about it. Have you got a topic yet? Still putting stuff out there. Hey, Brian, thinking of a watch to buy. That is a bit off the beaten path. That's okay. The unplanned chats are exactly there, off the beaten path. Okay, I'll be right back. Hang on a second. Got to go up, put some more posters up. Be back in a flash. Okie doke. Let's see. Here we are. Facebook. Visit. Gathering up all of the retrobates. Okie doke. That's all taken care of. Am I making a shameless plug for H. Moser? Moi? Yeah, in fact, I got on my H. Moser center seconds endeavor. So what it is, Brian, I know you have fairly similar weather to what we've got, so I got an idea that you have an you know you got to dress warmly. Thank you, thank you. This was from H. Moser. I entered their. I guess they give them out every year, and I entered it and won one year. So I get it. The one this year I liked even better, but that's okay. Hey Tony, how you doing? How are things down in South Padre, y'all? Actually, I lived in Texas for 4 years. I was the associate dean of the School of Liberal Arts at the University of Texas at El Paso there. Warmer, that's for sure. Yeah. Well, it's not going above freezing today. So for those of you who keep your popsicles outside, nothing to worry about. It was 7 degrees when you walked out. Oh my God. My wife wouldn't let me out until until later today. Oh boy. Uh yeah, it's certainly hitting us. And the other thing too is this stupid. It's the snow doesn't bother me, but boy, the ice does. That's the thing that's literally scary. I'm afraid of ice. I landed on my. I wish I landed on my tush, but I landed on my head the last time. I blocked it. I didn't want to hurt my arm. Anyway, so enough of that. Oh my God, it threw you out. You and the dog out. Oh, yeah, that can happen. Mr. Random, you're in Thailand. Oh, I have a watch. One of my watches, I have a Daniel Roth watch called the 24 Cities, Metropolitan 24 Cities. And you're matched with a city that is exactly 12 hours different. So mine's set to New York, even though I'm not in New York, in Connecticut, close enough. And then there's Bangkok. And so I always know what time it is in Bangkok. And it should be 11 o'clock. Good grief. It should be 11 o'clock at night there, Mr. Random 54. So, yeah. So let's talk about getting another watch. What I've been always looking for, is a watch, a really good watch that's been overlooked by everybody, but it's a really good deal. So, my latest one that I found was a Boucheron, and the Boucheron is a luxury jewelry outfit, and they're about, let me see, they're one of the top 5 Paris jewelers. They're like in Place Vendôme. Anyway, they have a Girard-Perregaux 4000 movement in it. And the 4000 movement was made by Girard-Perregaux specifically for Boucheron. And so I'm able to get a really nice Girard-Perregaux watch with a Girard-Perregaux movement for a lot less than that. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea of finding quality, I guess, that's more affordable. Okay, so what kind of watch are you guys looking for? Anybody have any Christmas hopes for getting a watch? Now I know, Brian, you have a watchdog, and that counts too. Okay. Hey, everyone's been talking about, I said, did you see the thing on 60 Minutes on watches? Did you guys see that? Everyone's talking about it. It's a big thing. Hey, Tim, how you doing, man? A lot of people saw it and said, oh, you have to see that, and there's this and this and this, and they go on why, which ones was, I think, Patek Philippe, and there was another watch. What's that other watch company that makes okay watches for just outrageous prices. Richard Mille. And they were going on about those, what great watches they were, and I'm thinking, maybe, maybe not. At least horologically wise. Um, right now, hi 9/11. Good to see you. We're looking for a topic that we want to talk about. Mr. Random mentioned he's looking for a watch. He's thinking about considering a Parmigiani Fleurier. Those are the ones you can still find some great deals on. Mr. Random, I mean, really good deals. Those are very good quality. Girard-Perregaux, those are good solid watches too. Laurent Ferrier, oh yeah, I like those too, but they're like starting at $40,000 now, something like that. Hi, Ed. Dr. Sheffield, good to see you. Metrograph is good, and I never see people talk about them. That's a good point. If you listen to me, I talk about them because I think they're great watches. Uh, I think, Brian, did you get a Metrograph? You got a Parmigiani Fleurier Metrograph, I think. There was another guy, my neighbor, who lives in, when I say neighbor, he lives in the same metropolitan statistical area. He got one and absolutely loves it. But you don't hear people talking about it. A lot of the good watches, you don't see a lot of talk about. You see too much talk about Rolex, Omega, the usual suspects, and there's talking, it's the same talk. But when you really get into some more unique watches, you don't hear that much talk about H. Moser either. But there it is. You can find it here. This is the path less taken. I'll put it that way. Okay, so what else you got going? I have a black dial Metrograph. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, Brian. That is a great watch. I've got. Let me see. I used to have 4 Parmigianis. I liked them so much, and now I'm down to 3. Poor me. I have the Hemisphere, I have the Ovale, and then I have the 1950 Loon. All 3 of them, love them. Love them all. And this is the reason I don't have a Metrograph is that I'm not into chronographs. That's all. That's nothing against chronographs. I just not my thing. Tonda GT is another one. Yeah, those are nice. I have the Tonda Loon. I can recommend that highly if you're interested in having a moon phase along with it. They're all discontinued, yeah, but that's the whole point. Once they're discontinued, a lot of times the price will really drop. Not on all watches or all models, but a lot of them. One of the ones that I like, they've been discontinued and you can't find them anymore, except for some insane price. Ovales are very hard to find. I got a Vessero and Constantin Mercator. Those are all gone. The ones I have, anyway. So there's some neat watches that because they're not produced anymore. There's 2 ways to look at that. Is that they must not be any good, which is I think sort of a knothead way of looking at it. The other way is opportunity, a buying opportunity. Ed, I was revisiting summer watches, sale on Zodiac. I think this is, and think, is there a winter watch? I don't know. I don't know. I wear this all year long. What I was thinking is putting on a blue gator strap. Winter blue seems more of a winter color, whereas orange seems more of a summer color. But I think the a field watch that you're gonna be banging around out in the snow with and stuff, that might count as a winter watch. Um, some big old, oh, what are the ones? What are they called? Those British watches start with a B. Uh, anyway, they have a really great case, so they'd be a good winter watch. Bremont, that's it. That's the one, yeah. The problem with Bremont, you get a really good case and a cheap movement, put it bluntly. Yeah. Yeah, those ones. They probably have one of the best cases around for, going around and mud wrestling and banging around in the snow and stuff. I think it's Bremont. Gentlemen, thank you very much for that help on that. Okay, um, now that we have more people here, anybody see that 60-minute things on watches? I guess not. I I heard about it afterwards. If I'd known about it before, I would have recorded it. Um, what it Oh, saw the thumbnail. Well, if they have a thumbnail, I'll take a look at it. I'm sure that it'll be discussed widely. I saw that was sort of interesting. There's this guy that somebody mentioned, I think it was on one of our discussions. Oh, it was, very good. I got to see it. Hi, Smoko. I saw it it's on YouTube. Oh, good. No real new information, but a nice intro video to share with my non-watch friend. Smoko, that is exactly what I thought. I don't know what's this doing on my finger. Piece of stuff. Yeah, that was. I mean, unless the producer is sort of a mad watch collector, you sort of like you pick up on popular luxury brands like Richard Mille, like Patek Philippe on the other hand, and also, Dufour. Somehow they got Dufour in there, which is great. I once figured out Dufour made, in his total career so far, has made little over 100 and something watches, and here's the irony of it, Larique's made more than that, which is still working on it, but it's done quite a bit. Hey, traveler. So you have these ironies. What I was very impressed with on this last GPHG wasn't who won, but some of the things that were made. In particular, that incredible Derek Pratt um, Remontois by Luca Soprano. That is just I really have a thing for Remontois Galates. The problem is that their prices are, I don't know. I remember a few years ago when Gronfeld came out with their it was called, I think it was 1941 Remontois. And I thought, holy smoke, what a great watch. 54,000. I didn't have 54,000 then. I don't have it now for a watch. So I couldn't get it. Now I think they've gone up to 60,000 or something like that. And the other Remontois, like the one by Luca that I like so much, that thing's over 100,000. I think. Could be wrong. But maybe it's just on a bargain price at 70,000 or something like that. But that would be something to really to have would be a Remontois, because I don't know what are some other constant force mechanisms that are I don't say achievable, but desirable. I think some people they really like the fusee and chain. My problem with the fusee and chain has always been the same thing: is that they're sort of fat. But I think it was Romain Gautier came out with one using a snail cam, and that sort of flattened the whole thing out. And he's got in the links, he has the connectors, and the links are rubies. And so you have this chain with these rubies in it. And the price of the thing is, I don't know, somewhere on the far side of the moon. Tourbillons used to be very expensive, but now you can find cheaper ones. You can find an excellent one, Ed, from Peacock. I have one. I had one, and it's fantastic. Not only is it a good tourbillon, but it's a good case and everything else that goes with it. I'd mentioned this several times before because it's such a good deal. It's around a little over $2,000. What is today? Today's the 9th. I think they have a discount, about a $200 discount until the 10th, tomorrow. And so it's like $2,200 or $2,300 for a brand new tourbillon. I'm not into tourbillons either. Nothing against tourbillons, and I have one I cobbled together from AliExpress. But it's just because they're really for a pocket watch and the way they work for a pocket watch. But you have Remontoise, Fusian chains, parallel double barrels, Maltese crosses. I'm trying to think of some other ones. What are some other ones? Are those pretty much the main ones? Okay, Brian, they have featured Philippe Dufour and also interviewed Maximilian Bousser. Okay, MB&F is great. Both of them paid a nice compliment to Dufour. Dufour is sort of my ideal in sense of what we should collect. Unfortunately, he doesn't make very many at all. He makes these just wonderful watches, just with precision and everything you want in a watch. And so that's worth having and worth knowing about too. So and Max Bousser from MB&F, he works with everybody. And the NF and Friends. He's done one with Agenor, possibly more than one. I don't know. In fact, I think he even may have done something with Jean-Marc Viderec. Lots of stuff. Am I getting ready for Christmas? You bet. I am getting so ready. I've got 5 grandkids. Let me see how many I've taken care of so far. Well, one I'm almost ready for. I was going to give him his watch for this watch I made for him for Thanksgiving, and I screwed up the stem and couldn't get it working right. Everything else is working fine, including you're like this, Brian. I got the second hand on, but so the rest of them I got to find out what they all want. You know what? Usually what they want, they say, well, send me a $100 Visa card or something like that. So they go out and get what they want, which makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. My son and I and daughter and so forth, and what we do, we sort of like we actually do each other is what do you want for Christmas, and then you get sent a link to an online link. Here's the size and the everything on that. So the question is, yep. Brian, who I think is the last is Jean-Marc Viderec. Look at the watches he did. In fact, well, it wasn't. I don't know if he's done a whole watch. Look at the movements he made. He was in that. So anyway, he's my favorite, of course. Hey, B Rock, how you doing? You like my hat? This is my Moser hat. Let me see if it's what it says on it. It's got a picture of reindeers. There it is. uh, with its. Oh wait, no, they're not reindeers. They're these. They're Saint Bernards with deer horns on it. Let me see. Let me show you my. Oh, there it is. My H Moser short with the Saint Bernard with reindeer horns, and my favorite part, the flask of rum or brandy or whatever they carry around. Any non-watch gifts for boy? I think a non-watch gift is sort of a watch, but is sort of like go to AliExpress and order up a bunch of stuff. 4 minutes. Here, make a watch. I think the one thing about if you make your own watch, like this one, you can see this is one I made. You can see the stem. I had to reorder. I ordered 5 stems so I can break them all before, and maybe I'll get one. But you got a good clear view of it and everything. I'm very excited about getting that. And he saw a picture of it and just, he really wants his watch. I'll have to get him something to go with it. I'm also giving my faux brigade to my daughter for her 100th birthday. I get it. You're being optimistic. You are. I was thinking maybe your great granddaughter. What is the most expensive watch you have owned? Right now, probably my FP Journe resonance that I had to sell it, and that's how I found out how expensive it was. Somebody ran into my car and I had to replace it. So it's sort of a bad way to find out about it. Get an early present from Horology by the Sea. Hey, Michael. Oh yeah, all of those. Yeah, there's the one I still like from Horology by the Sea is the Paul, what's his name? The one with the three with the three balances, not balances, but rotors. He's got these 3 gold rotors that all work. That would be fantastic. Yeah, that. Oh, you got it for yourself. You got the Fougeron Felix. That is an amazing watch, Michael. Is there a particular watch brand that really stands out by maybe going above and beyond to make their clients feel appreciated? Huh. I I tell you, this may sound funny, and maybe it was just a fluke. Chanel. I got this Chanel Monsieur One. Had a problem with it, and boy, did they Chanel take good care of me. I took it to their one of their boutiques in New York. They took it. They they uh, they have a person who knew what she was talking about, and they took my watch and they said it'll be about, I think it was 3 to 6 months, something like that. Month and a half later, I got it back. This is what they did with it. They first of all they sent it to their they have this new high horology factory that they made just for their tip top movements. They sent it there. They fixed it up, and I think they put a new part. I think there was some kind of generic problem with it, and they sort of put in the new parts. Myself and Michael, that's Michael, one of the Michaels, not you, Michael, another Michael. Um, excuse me. He and I had the same problem, and we both sent it in, and they both fixed it. Took wonderful care of us. Trying to think who else is really good on that line. Oh, FP Journe. Boy, I tell you, both my FP Journes, now I'm down to one. FP Journe, I went to the New York City boutique, gave it to William. He took care of everything. I mean, is sent it to the right place to have it done, to have it fixed up. By the way, too, let me just suggest something. If you can, if there's like a boutique or something that will send it to there for you, do it that way because I have a feeling they know all the right people to contact and everything. Whereas if you just send it in sort of like, they don't know who you are or care. You might get better because I always get they do great work and so that's my spiel on that. JLC treats me very well, both in person and via email. I like Jaeger-LeCoultre. It's funny. I have one that I got for my wife a long time ago. Reverso works still like the day we got it. The problem is that once she got her Apple Watch, that's all she wears. she doesn't. She just wears her Apple Watch. It's a phone and God knows what else it does. But it's not a watch. It's a wrist computer, is what it is. Yeah, I like JLC too. Hey, how you doing, Fort George? Good to see you guys. Oh, right. JLC Polaris. Do you have one of those, Fort George? They're sort of an interesting watch. The thing about the Reverso, that's you don't have to, but it's sort of what you like. The funny thing about the Reverso, and I think very few people think of it this way, but it's like the original sports watch since it was, set up so you could flip it over when you're playing polo. Yeah, Harboring 2 is really nice. Also, check out, Horology by the Sea. They do have they're in if you're in Thailand, there's probably, some some Harboring 2 dealer in Asia, I think, but I'm not sure. Um, and you can either go directly to Harboring 2, and they'll take really good care of you. That's another company. When I got my Harboring 2 long time ago, boy, they were good. They even come. I think I even got they shipped it with an extra mainspring. Really great shipping watches. They shipped it in one of those ones where you have the watch sandwiched in cellophane and it sort of floats. Really good people to deal with. Michael, you know, I the I don't know of any other ones, to tell you the truth. That's a good question. Does anybody else? Who else makes the word the thing I can't pronounce? This is what it's like. It goes pretty fast. Yeah, Smoko, me too. I'll tell you, of all of the watch companies, uh, the I think the very best watchmaker for collectors is Harboring 2. The reason I think that is that first of all, They make how many? Maybe it's like I think they only make in the hundreds. They don't make very many every year. They just make a few of them, and yet they don't. They don't go on. Well, it's a limited edition, so we're going to charge you the moon for them. Very reasonable prices, and they're all handmade there in a little atelier they have, and I don't know, sort of some little pine tree stop in Austria. Um, I don't know the name of the town. Probably mispronounced it anyway, but yeah, I think Harbin 2 is probably, if I had to name one for collectors, the reason for it, you've got an actual watchmaker. Somebody can say, "This guy made my watch." Whereas even with I mean, you couldn't name a watchmaker to save your soul. Who made your Rolex? I don't know, or your Omega, or your Patek Philippe, or your Vacheron Constantin. But you can with Harbring. It's Richard did it. Richard and Marie. I guess they talk about Richard and Marie both working at. I'm not. Maybe so. I don't know to what extent she's a watchmaker. She may be. They met in Dresden, so that'll tell you something. Maybe she was there. Marie was there picking up on some of the tips. Wow, Smoko. Close case back. He's got a movement worth looking at, though. Sort of curious, Smoko. How come you wanted a closed case back? It's an interesting choice. Trying to think of that. What's the name of the guy? It's Paul something, who has it's like Paul Gerber. Paul Gerber. That's the guy. I really like his watches. Now, the one with the 3 gold rotors in the back that they have at Horology by the Sea. That's one I really like. The movement, the base movement, I think is an ETA or something, and or Solita, one of the two. But it's sort of like with a watchmaker of his caliber, once he gets a hold of it, it's not your typical off the assembly line Solita or ETA, something else. Okay, what are some other things that are important that we need to see and ask about watches? Yeah. In fact, wait a minute now. That's not true. Just a second. Here's my own creation, and this is a clone of a 6498. Isn't that pretty? Maybe not. You may have a point, Ed. I saw a Hitchell watch manual with in-house movement. It's German watch brand company. Hinschel. Are you sure they did the movement? Who do you know who the watchmaker would be on that? I've seen their watches, and they have some nice looking watches. In your opinion, okay, that's that's all we got. Ed, his opinions. Uh, it's really funny. Some of these guys who are talking about watches, they are, "I don't know, this is the way it is," usually they don't know the way it is, but this is the way it is. The way it is that, you know, e every time I have one of the things, the people who participate, at least I've seen, I always learn something new. I mean, and so the idea that "Hey, this is the way it is," I've learned all kinds of new stuff. Uh, I think a couple times ago, there was somebody said that, Langenheim, had a Frederick II with a Remontois. I said, "No, they don't. They don't have that at all." And I looked it up, and they had a special one for it. So shut my mouth, I'll listen because I hadn't looked. It's really funny with Langenheim. Uh, I like their watches, but I'm still holding it against them in a weird way for what? Get that up. For, sort of forcing Marco Lang out of his own watch company. All of those watch designs are his. The movements are his. He had there was a Remontois Egalite by Marco Lang before he left. The one that they brought in, that they put in, I don't know whether that is simply took one of his and put it in because it's in a different um, movement. The movement in the Frederick II is a number is called 6, B1. He wasn't very creative about naming his movements. They were just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he had several of them, which is more than a lot of watch companies ever dreamed of having of their own movements. So that's that may be one of their real marks of, hey, they're sort of bringing it back. I really wish Marco Lang, which is another watch brand, Marco went off and did his own. He put this thing together, this incredible watch called a Zeit something or other, and you have this, and then you flip it over, and it's just a work of art. It really is, but it costs a lot, and there's a waiting list out the door and around the block. I wish he would come out with some more of the ones that I bugged him about. I tried to get him to make one for Larique, and he wouldn't want it. He wouldn't do it. The Gerber movement is based on an ETA 2824. Those are like super, super common. Uh, they're probably the most popular of all the ETA watches, and I think that the Salida 2000 or 200, 200 or 201 is basically their version of that. Okay, Andreas Henschel, Fort George. I got to find out more about him. Thank you. Yeah, it's sort of Langenheimer is such a. The thing was, this is funny. Here's a guy who's Marco Lang is a very generous guy. Because what he did, Hein was there for like the first year that they hadn't, and I think Marco probably about 8 years because he left in after 2018, I think. Um, but he was very generous about it. When Heim left, he could have called it Lang. I'm glad he didn't because now he can call his own brand Marco Lang, whereas um, Daniel Roth couldn't use his own name after who was it? Oh God, I tell you, my brain is just starts with a G. The luxury brand who bought it that he worked for a year. Oh, Ed, yes. Everything about him is fantastic. I still have uh, my Langenheim Frederick the second. Just a beautiful. That's pure horology. The thing I like the best about it is the movement with a trigonal bridge, and you can see all of the movement. The one that still would be one I'd love to get my mitts on with a Georg, and you can see the entire movement, the way it's set up. Mm-mm-mm. I somehow it somehow just feels more complete and properly closed when the case back is solid. Just what I enjoy more. You know, it's sort of a funny thing about that. My Fabergé Alexi has a what's the name of the movement? Frederick Piguet movement in it. I think it's 1160. And what they did, they for a rotor, they put this Imperial Eagle, then they put a solid back. And it. It doesn't bother me. At one time, I took the back off, took pictures of it, and I'm happy with it. But yeah, I can see that smoke solid back. It's funny. I do enjoy looking at a movement, especially with something like the Langenheim. Um, but if if you feel that it's more complete with a solid back, more power to you. I like the fact that Harboring Two would say, "No problem, we'll do that for you." They're just such a great watch company. You're not. What do you mean old? Who's old? Michael. That's not old. I don't know. I don't know. We don't have any old people here. Hey, Stuart, how you doing? Can you recommend a good pocket watch? As a matter of fact, no, I can't. But I can recommend one that I bought and broke. It wasn't the watch's fault. Um, but get a pocket watch that's key wound. And I'll tell you why. In George Daniels' book, Watchmaking, I think all of the watches in that book are key wound, and he's almost fussy about key wound ones, And he says, "Well, some people say, well, you're going to lose the key or something, then you're up a creek." He said, he said, if you lose a key, you don't deserve to have one. It was really funny. But here's the thing about a key wound pocket watch. They don't have the keyless works. And the keyless works is just sort of like, and I think this is what George Daniels saw in them. They're just a mess in the way of the watch's function. Whereas if you take a look at where a key goes in, let me see if I got my broken watch here. I think this is it. Whoops. Yeah, this is it. Boy, it's really messed up. Oh, now it's got a bent. I had this in a watch case. Okay, let me see that clear. Right there. Notice that's the barrel, I think. Yeah. Um, right here is the barrel. And so when you wind it up with a key, you wind it directly into the barrel. And so you don't have to, there's a couple different things that you don't have to deal with. Then they have another thing where you wind the power, and the other one you wind and then you use for setting it. So if you're going to get a pocket watch, get one with that. Let me see. Boy, I really messed this thing up, didn't I? I took this out of the case, and I should have protected it better and screwed up the. Let me see. Let me give you the brand of this one. Oh, I tell you, another great one would be Waltham. Waltham would be another really good one. Boy, hang on a second. Boy, they got it small enough. Bring out my big gun. A system loop. This is by Jules Hugernen. Okay. And it's got the key wound, the key wound movement in it. So this is V1. If you're looking for one, you want to. Doggone it! I wish I hadn't have messed up that. What you can do with it, if you want to. This is the case that I got for it, and it fit in the case great. And then I screwed around doing things I shouldn't have done and broke it. So anyway, if you want instructions on how to break a watch, you can join the pretentious watchmakers. Okay, that's it for that. Hey, Killer, how you doing? And this is my oddballs therapy group. Christopher Ward came out with a new puck watch. Oh, okay. Do I still walk 5K a day? You bet. The only thing that stops me from walking 5K a day is when it's below freezing the whole day. So what I'll do is that I'll go down to somewhere and walk around a lot. Maybe I'll get in my 5K today. The other day I did it. My wife took me to the shopping with her, which is always a thrill. We went to the grocery store. I walked all over that grocery store and ended up with 5K. Most of it in the grocery store. So yeah, I do 5K a day. I don't know. I just like walking. My Hadley strap is on the way. Oh, cool. So's mine. I haven't got mine yet, but it looks really good. As as soon as I get my watch back from the watch repair, I sent my watch in for that it needed repairing because it wasn't working right. And so I got it back and then wound it up and tried it out, and it's just working, keep perfect time. But after 15 minutes, it stopped. It was what? And so I got to send it back again. It's the one with the Girard-Perregaux 4000 movement in it. It's a Boucheron. And so I got a special thing for it from Hadley. I'll show it to you when I get it, because I'll tell you, I ordered one from what is it? ABP Concepts Paris, and it's still on the way. It was like cost me over $150, something like that. And I got a notice that they shipped it, and hooray. Then I got another notice that they're looking at it in customs and something about. So I wrote them and I sent them a copy of my fish and wildlife license, and haven't heard back from them. So that thing may be the end of it for that. Both of those, Smoko, both the Langenheim and Maurice Grossman. You're right. The thing about Maurice Grossman is why, much as here it is right here. The thing about my Maurice Grossman, they're really beautiful movements, but they have what is it, 3/4 plate on it. Okay. And so while the reason for the 3/4 plate, or maybe it was 2/3 plate, one of the two, maybe it's 2/3 plate. And look at that nice big movement that they have. I mean, the big balance wheel. The thing about it, the reason they did it is in the watchmaking process, for some reason, they wanted to put on this big plate, and you can see the pivot points for the wheel train, those the rubies, and then below that, though, is where you have the your balance and everything like that, and your and this incredible regulator. I don't know if you can see that or not, but see the regulator, and then at the tip of the regulator, there's a screw drive. And so if you want to, just incredible watch. These, I think, are probably the least appreciated German watches, and they're really fantastic watches. The big problem with them is they're so blasted expensive. I got mine on a just a dumb luck. It was brand new. It wasn't. I got it from a guy in Dubai. The guy I got it from was very cool, very accommodating. So, as a result, I was able to get the. I told him, I said, "Look, it's got a gator strap. Send it separately." I said, "Put some documentation with it." They say, "We want to know what it is." It's documentation, and it came through. It's I don't know if that is quite according to Hoyle or not, but it's one thing. Yeah, I know, my Imperial Eagle. Bulgari, that's who I was trying to think of, Brian, thank you. Um, yeah, they pronounce it Bulgari, something like that. Um, and yeah, Roth, oh boy, they went to he had nothing but bad luck when it came to he had good luck and bad luck. When Daniel Roth first started working, he had worked, I think, for some other major watch company for a while, and got a reputation of really being some incredibly good young watchmaker. So that Chaumet Brothers bought Breguet, saved it from oblivion, really, and then they went to Roth and told him they'd like to hire him to sort of re-bring back Breguet. And what he said was really interesting. He said, "Well," he said, "I could do it, but I'm going to have to go back to watchmaking school for a year for certain kinds of advanced kind of stuff that he wanted to have." And much to the Chaumet brothers' credit, they said, "Okay, go ahead." He did, and he came back and just was did all of these great things. And then the Chaumet brothers, being greedy dummies, tried to corner the diamond market, I think. And the diamond prices went down the toilet, and they ended up in big trouble, almost went to prison. So they had to get rid of. So that was it for at least for I don't know why he had to leave. Somebody picked it up. So Roth goes to this company in Singapore, I think. They said they wanted to do it. So he was making his own Daniel Roth brand with the being owned by this Singapore company. I forgot the name of it. I always forget a lot of stuff. And so he worked with them until they ran into some kind of economic problem. Then he went to Bulgari. They bought the name Daniel Roth. And so he worked with them for what sounds like a very unhappy year that he had. But there are a couple of his watches that are basically his designs from soup to nuts with a Bulgari name on it. He and Gerald Genta both work for Bulgari. So it's sort of an interesting kind of thing. Yeah, he's had, from what I understand, his health is less than optimum. Um, something with, I think, I don't know what it is, but it's he's not in good health. Uh-oh, is the video okay now? If it gets stuck too much, I can refresh it. Is it alright? Hi, Junior, how you doing? Oh, it was just you, okay. Yeah, we had, our service provider, Xfinity, was out yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday, upgrading everything, so we should have pretty good service. I mean, in fact, we shouldn't be having those kinds of problems, but, who knows? I tell you, I'm surprised every all the lines haven't frozen. It's up to a toasty, I think, about 15 degrees now. Let me see what it is. Oh, it's up to 26. Alright. The high is gonna be 30 Fahrenheit, which is still below freezing. So, anyway, it's time, pretty soon, you get to walk the dog again, Brian. It's nice and warm outside. Groenfeld has another brand called Groen have 2 watches. They are more affordable. Yeah, they are. But they're I don't know what kind of movement. I think they have Miyota movement or something like that. It's sort of years ago, they used to have on Volkswagen Bugs, you could get a Rolls Royce, grill and put it on the front of your Volkswagen. And it's sort of the same thing that, uh, Ahsoka's doing it with this company in, Tokyo and some of these other ones. But, I mean, if you're gonna have I don't know, it's sort of like make believe. It's like one of those little kiddie cars with you pushing the pedals on it. But it's okay. I mean, Groenfeld, somebody looks I'm never gonna be able to fill a Groenfeld. Me neither, but, um, you're not getting a you're not getting what is it the essence of it, which is these incredible movements they make. Yeah, they are cool looking though. 3/4 plate is what it is, killer, thanks. It's not in the Hamatic. The Hamatic is just the coolest watch. You're lucky to get one of those. Value 77.50 on the latest one. Yeah, uh, that's a chronograph. What I know they've been used for more than chronographs. Whoa, not a Groenfeld movement, no, that's for sure. Hi, TRH. Do you think bigger watches will ever return? They only seem to have been a thing, once in all of horological history. Oh, I don't know. Um, I don't know. I tell you, I think one of the reasons they may have come back because the 6498 and 6497 were so popular. Okay, figured, "Hey, we can make wristwatches with that." So I don't know really. I don't like the smaller ones, really small. Anything I can handle something down to about 36 millimeters. After that, it's getting pretty small. Yeah, 42, 43. They're not as popular anymore. I'll grant you that. And so the good thing about something not being as popular, the price goes down. Yeah, the ones what we did at Larique, our first 2 were 39 millimeters. A lot of guys with smaller wrists and a lot of guys with bigger wrists. That was sort of like coming in between both of them. Anyway, guys, I got a boogie. My time is up, and before the rolling pin comes in to remind me, I'm gonna have to scoot. So, anyway, thank you all for dropping by, and I learn something every day. Take care.